Is kissing before marriage a sin? This question has been burning in the hearts of millions. Argued in churches. Tonight, heaven reveals the great answer.
Lord, please, I need to ask you something that has been troubling my heart. In my school, in my youth fellowship, even in Bible study, this question keeps coming up, but no one seems to have a straight answer. Some say yes, some say no. Others laugh it off and call it too small to matter. My Lord, is kissing before marriage a sin? I've searched the scriptures. I've listened to pastors, but I can't find a verse that directly says kissing is a sin. Some people even quote 1 Corinthians 8-9 saying, "Take care that your liberty does not become a stumbling block." But they argue it's only about food, not about kissing. I hear others say, at least it's not fornication. At least it's not sex. It's just a kiss. But Lord, is it really just that simple? Because I've seen good Christian brothers and sisters, people who love you, fall after starting with just a kiss. And in my heart, I keep asking, is this thing harmless, or is it a fire we're playing with?
My child, hear me. Not every sin was written word for word when the scriptures were penned. Technology has changed, cultures have changed, human habits have changed. But my spirit still speaks, and my laws are written on the heart. Did I not say in Jeremiah 31-33, I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts. That is why when you do wrong, even before a preacher talks, your own heart convicts you. Yet instead of listening, many justify their pleasures. You ask about kissing. Listen carefully. Kissing may not look like fornication, but it awakens fornication. It is like lighting a fire in the middle of a room and saying, it's only a small flame, but soon the flame finds the curtains, the carpet, the furniture, until the entire house is consumed. This is why I warned you in Song of Solomon 8-4. Do not awaken love before it so desires. Sex is the intercourse, but kissing is the outer course, the beginning of stirring passions that were designed only for marriage. You say it's only lips touching. I say it is the spark that sets the flesh ablaze. My word commands in 1 Corinthians 6:18, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. Flee, not negotiate. Flee, not justify. My child, the danger is not only the kiss itself, but what it feeds, what it unlocks, and what it eventually produces.
But Lord, you said kissing awakens desire. But can't we control ourselves? What if we kiss and stop there? Isn't self-control a fruit of the Spirit? Galatians 5:22 says so. Doesn't that mean as long as I don't go too far, I'm still fine? Besides, didn't you say in 1 Corinthians 6:12, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are beneficial? So maybe kissing isn't a sin. Maybe it's just something people have to handle with maturity. Lord, if holding hands is allowed, if hugging is allowed, why not kissing? Isn't it just a deeper way of showing affection?
Child, do not twist my word to justify your desires. Self-control is not about standing at the edge of the fire. Self-control is fleeing from it. You ask if kissing is lawful. Hear my word, 1 Corinthians 10:23. You say, I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. What? Does kissing construct in unmarried hearts? Purity or passion? Righteousness or lust? You say you can stop, but I warned you in Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can understand it? The heart whispers, I can handle it, even as it drags you closer to sin. Holding hands may comfort. A hug may strengthen. But kissing was not designed for friendship or comfort. It was designed as the language of intimacy. And intimacy outside covenant becomes a seed of immorality. That is why I said in Romans 13:14, put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to gratify its desires. Kissing is provision for the flesh. It feeds what you claim you will never allow to grow.
But Lord, if kissing before marriage is so dangerous, then why didn't you just write it clearly in the Bible? You said flee from sexual immorality, but you never said don't kiss. Isn't that proof it's not really a sin? Big sin like other big sins? And what about Jacob? Didn't he kiss Rachel in Genesis 29:11 when he first met her? And that was before they got married. If Jacob, a patriarch of faith, could kiss, why can't we? Besides, Lord, Song of Solomon is filled with kisses. Isn't that also part of love, which you yourself created? Lord, if we kiss someone we truly love, with no intention of sin, how can that alone send us to hell?
Child, you speak like millions of people do. They are searching for loopholes to justify their sin instead of truth. You said Jacob kissed Rachel. Yes, but do you not see it was a greeting in their culture, not a romantic embrace in secret? Do you compare your burning kisses behind closed doors with a cultural welcome in public? You said Song of Solomon speaks of kisses. Yes, but those kisses were in the holy covenant of marriage. You want to take the holy flame of the marriage bed and play with it on dry grass. What happens when fire meets straw? I did not list every act because my spirit convicts the heart. I wrote it in your conscience. That is why even after you kiss, your heart beats with guilt. You try to silence that voice with excuses, but deep inside you know the truth. You can always lie to everyone around you, but you can never lie to yourself. Even without the Bible, you always know when you do something right and when you do the wrong one. Listen to me, Ephesians 5:3. But among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality or of any kind of impurity. Not even a hint. A kiss that stirs lust is already impurity. And hear this, Matthew 5:28. Anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. What then of lips pressed together that ignite lust in both hearts? Child, it's not about the act alone, it's about the door it opens. Every great fall begins with a small compromise. David's fall began with just a look. Samson's fall began with just a secret shared. Your fall can begin with just a kiss. You watching, do not deceive yourselves. Many of you argue just as this child did. You search for verses to defend your desires instead of fleeing from them. I tell you, make no provision for the flesh to gratify its desires. Romans 13:14. Kissing before marriage is provision for the flesh. It plants seeds of fire that will consume your purity if you do not stop. You say, it's just a kiss, but in my eyes, it is the beginning of fornication. You say, it's not written in black and white, but I wrote it in your heart by my Spirit. Ignore that voice, and you ignore me. Do not play at the edge of hell and call it love. True love waits. True purity flees. True holiness does not ask, how close can I get to sin? But how far can I stay from it? If you are not ashamed of me in public, comment, Jesus, please help me to flee from immoral activities. Like and share this message so that the light of my word will reach more souls. Subscribe to this channel to continue hearing my true word. May my unending grace continue to see you through all the days of your life.